Hello, I'm Paddy from creativemedia.org.uk and I've got my hands on a Samson Go Mic Mobile, which is a USB, but not entirely USB, as you'll find out. Wireless mic. I'm using it right now to record this. How good is that? I'll tell you in a moment, and I'll also explain why we have this mysterious item here. Okay, so what have we got then? Here's a little box. It's got a clamp on for clamping onto your phone. It works with a phone, with a tablet, or with a computer. So you get a plethora of cables coming with it, including a jack one, so it's not all digital. I've used it with Filmic Pro on a Android phone. My colleagues used it with a iPad. You actually get audio input and output when you're using it with an iPad or a phone. At the moment I'm not getting an audio output from the computer. I'm recording to a laptop at the moment into Audacity, and that's working very nicely. But I'm not getting an audio output from Audacity via this. It doesn't seem to be there as an option. And I thought I was the other day, so I'm not absolutely sure about that. So what does it do? Well, you've got a channel 1 and a channel 2 button, because this receiver can receive 2 separate microphone channels. So if you've got 2 of these mic receivers, which are fairly conventional looking mic receivers, then you can put them both into this one receiver, and you've got a choice to put channel 1 into the left channel, channel 2 into the right channel, or put them both into stereo. Currently I've got my 1 channel going into stereo, so it's sort of 2 channel mono basically. You've got a little channel 1 button here, which you can see is going red when I bang the mic. It's going red, so that's giving me a kind of peak level, which is useful. I imagine channel 2 is going to do the same thing here. There's a battery charge indicator, because this little unit has a battery in. I discovered that. I unboxed it, pressed the button, and things lit up straight away. So you don't need to be plugging in the charge cable. I've got that plugged in anyway, because I hate things going flat in the middle of recording, which happened to be just now with my receiver. When I did my first take of this, my batteries went flat, and Audacity thankfully stopped recording so I could spot it. So that's that. Power button as well. Interestingly, the volume control, which controls the volume to the analog output, which you'd use for headphones usually, but you could also use to plug it straight into the input in a mixer or a camera. So you could use this entirely non-digitally. You could just use its internal battery, plug an audio cable into a camera input, and there you go, you've got wireless straight away. This slider here controls the volume of that, but interestingly, it also seems to control the volume of, that's very interesting, it also controls the volume of the output of the microphone. So when I'm recording, if I turn that down, then I'm going to start getting a bit quiet. I hadn't realised that. And the other interesting thing is that the volume goes, what I think is backwards. Fully to the left is full volume, fully to the right is no volume. So that should be silent, just about. A bit confusing, but I guess you're meant to tell by the size of these little dots. Big dots loud, small dots quiet. But yeah, that felt a bit backwards to me. I've forgotten what this last switch does. I think that turns it into either both mics go into left and right simultaneously, or you can choose 2 channel, and then you can separate your 2 mics into separate channels, which could be pretty useful if you're recording an interview and you wanted to treat the 2 voice recordings separately, particularly if the people weren't right next to each other. On the back there are some tiny instructions telling you how to pair it with the mic. Basically you hold this power button down, and when things start flashing you hold down a button on the receiver, other way around, this is the transmitter, you hold down this button and they pair up. I found that once they've been paired up, they tend to stay paired up, so you can turn them off, turn them on again, and you'll most likely find that they're already paired. So the receiver, let's move on to that. It's got a nice sturdy clip on the back, really chunky that is. A mini XLR plug, or socket I should say, so you can plug in any old mic, which is quite useful because this mic is not really very nice, as we will find out when I compare it with another one, I hope. Aerial, wibbly wobbly aerial. And inside is the battery compartment, 2 AA batteries. I'm using rechargeable ones, which is probably why it went flat so quickly. And this cute little screwdriver, which is to control the gain control here. So you can turn that up and down. So that's gone up a bit, and I can turn that down, and that should be a bit quieter now. Yeah. So you probably want to adjust that to get it so your red light on the receiver isn't peaking, and then stick the little screwdriver back in, which only seems to go back in one way. There we go. So snap that closed. There are also some bits and pieces in the bag, another kind of belt clip type thing, and what looks like some kind of tripod mount thing. I guess you can mount this. Yeah, there's a screw hole on the back, so you could mount this on your camera rig and make this part of your camera setup. You get your SLR and then cover it in lots of bits until it becomes as big as a enormous camcorder. I'm going to go for a walk in golf camera, and I should still be receiving. There's a convenient green light on the receiver. Can we see that on camera down there, which shows if it's connecting or not. When that goes orange, it means you're out of range and it's not going to be picking up anymore, and it kind of breaks up a bit. I've gone sort of 6-7 meters or so away from the receiver here and still got a signal. Walked into a different room. I wouldn't say this would be likely to work in like a big auditorium with a mixer at the back and somebody speaking at the front. I'd be somewhat suspicious about this actually working there. I don't know if I can really do a good test of how far this is going to pick up, but I'd assume it's not going to reach as far as some of the professional Sennheiser gear that's designed for big auditoriums and such like. I've no idea what channel this works on. Doesn't seem to say anything about if it uses one of the official digital channels or if it uses Bluetooth, or I don't know how it's connecting. It's got an aerial, which might be a clue to people in the know about electronics. So lastly, the quality of the mic. Well, you might notice I'm wearing 2 microphones here. I'm not wearing 2 microphones. Where's my other microphone? Here it is. I was wearing 2 microphones. I'm going to put this one back on again. This is a microphone made by Telex, which I don't think is particularly expensive. And might try and do a side-by-side comparison with a quite an expensive lapel mic as well. But I don't think the quality of this mic's very good. So if I say a phrase through this mic and then create some white noise with the mysterious ball, and then we can try it with this Telex mic and see how it compares. So let's go for a tongue twister. She sells seashells on the seashore. And there's a bit of white noise to compare it. So now I'm going to switch over to the Telex mic and see if that sounds any different. Okay, so we're still connected. That was an analog connection I undid there. So now I'm working on the Telex mic, and I'll do the same phrase as I did before. She sells seashells on the seashore. 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 These are for sale for around £90, £100, and AKG is well known as a good microphone maker. She sells seashells on the seashore. You may have noticed the buzzing sound when I plugged in the Telex microphone, even though the sound quality was far superior to the standard Samson mic. That buzzing just makes it useless. This problem is largely solved by keeping the transmitter further away from the receiver than I had it, so maybe 2 or 3 meters away is a good distance. The range of these will actually go up to about 10 or 12 meters in my tests inside an office. I was still getting the buzzing sounds using the entire setup on batteries and not plugged into a computer at all, so it's clearly radio interference rather than something to do with the connections. Other ways of mitigating the buzz are to touch the microphone wire against your skin. That cuts out the buzz quite a lot. And also avoid electrical fields like laptops and screens. If there are any audio experts watching who know exactly what the problem is and how to fix it, then please do say in the comments. That'll be useful to me and to other people too. So that's the end of the test, finishing off the review on the Telex mic. And I would say, from having listened to this before, that if you get one of these, don't stick with the standard mic that you get with it, because I think it's a not very high quality mic. And I'd go for a much better mic, which you can probably get quite cheaply, and you'll get much better quality of sound. So that's all there is to it. Thanks for listening, and I hope that's helped you decide whether to get one of these Samson Go Mic Mobiles or whether to go for something different. Very convenient for connecting to a computer. If you're going for PA stuff, you might want to try something different.